Hi folks, I hope you're doing well today. My name is Bonnie and welcome to my Draw With Me series. This is a series where I showcase one of my recent speed paints while hanging out with all of you guys. Just think of this as a little snippet of what you may get during my Twitch streams. Currently, this series is monthly, so I use this as an update on what's going on with my channel and my social media content. And be sure to stick around until the end of the video where you can see a sneak peek of what is to come on my YouTube and Twitch channels. So sit back, relax, grab some snacks, and do something with me, whether it's working, studying, or even drawing your own lovely creations. I have a few updates this month. On YouTube, we just reached 217 subscribers this month, and I'm thanking all of you. My next goal is 300 subscribers, so please stay tuned for even more content in the future. Let me know what type of tutorials I should do in the comments down below for future videos. And later this month, I will be making a video designing the LGBT plus flags into D&D characters. I've worked pretty hard on these, so I hope you all appreciate the effort I put into this. On Twitch, I decided to start streaming twice a week in June and July. On Mondays, I will be playing Fire Emblem 3 Houses and other games that interest me. On Saturday, I plan to continue to work on some art that I have in my pipeline. If you want to check me out, I start my streams at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My Twitch link is also in my description down below. I am excited to announce that LittleAshBunny is the winner of this month's Steal Your Heart competition. Thank you so much for being a huge supporter of my channel. You can see their art and panel on my Twitch channel. Be sure to subscribe to them and give them all the love and support possible. If you want to take part in the competition, please watch my channel when I go live and interact on this channel. There are plenty of games that you can participate in to get more hearts, such as Heist, stealing, and more. And if you want to monetarily support my YouTube channel, please head on over to my Patreon. Patreon currently helps support my content on here, so if you want to see more videos more often, feel free to pledge there. If you pledge, you can see behind the scenes and early access content there, but we will be expanding to tutorials, pinups, and more in the coming months. Also, if you want to support me, you can always buy something from my store. Currently, I have a new emote set for Pride Month in my store. I've made Genshin Impact characters with the LGBT plus flags. I hope you enjoy them. Also, a part of the proceeds for these emotes will go to the Trevor Project, so you can support me and help a good cause at the same time. Later this month, my LGBT plus D&D character designs should also be in the store as well. I'm going to do something different this month and go to my comments next. If you got this far, boop the like button and subscribe if you like this video. This helps the algorithm push my content out onto YouTube. I also share comments from my last few videos, including my Draw With Me series. If you didn't get to see the one from last month, you can look in my description or click the card on the top right corner. Now, on to the comments. From Zappelli, oh, do I think one of the worst stories I had was from a figure drawing class I had in undergrad, where the teacher said that he needed to get down on my level before squatting down to check my perspective. Him walking away from that without me shoving a pastel up his nose was a small miracle, to be honest. Oh my gosh. As a short person, I can understand how you must feel. Tall people, please don't squat to get down to our level to talk to us. I will legit just look at you like, really? If you do. From Okusan, mine's kinda just a little sad inconvenience so. I had noticed that the new art teacher was my old teacher from 3rd grade, and she would always pick on me and be snotty and talk about me to the teacher in the class next to ours about me. I just think it was a disaster because I was so happy to be in art, but it just so happened to be that a teacher that despised me from 4 years earlier. She would also just look up craft ideas on YouTube and make us do it as well. Definitely didn't stop me from loving art, but it sure was a pain. Oof. Unfortunately, I too had something like this happen. This was a science teacher though. So I just moved to North Carolina during this time, and I really had a snotty social studies teacher. Legit, this teacher took points off my project because she didn't like how I ate a muffin in class. A muffin. In 8th grade, she became my science and homeroom teacher. She found any way possible to get me into trouble at school, including writing me up for playing the card game BS during downtime in homeroom. She also purposely gave me bad science grades and wouldn't help me. Now, I wasn't an angel during class, but there were certain moments where she should have helped me. One time, I tripped during homeroom class and literally ripped the knees on my pants. I was a bloody mess. So what did she do? Nothing. No asking if I was okay, as I was limping back to the classroom and dripping blood. Actually, she asked me if I was going to clean the blood up when I got to my seat when I was visibly hurt. I will admit, there are some awesome teachers I adore, but she was one that I would be happy to forget. From The Guardian, "Hi Bonnie, what are your PC specs and monitor model?" Well, I have an Alienware Aurora R10 with 32 RAM with a 1TB HHD and SSD storage, a Philips 226E monitor, and I use an XP Pen 22E Pro tablet. You do not need these things to make digital art though. I upgraded throughout the years and used sales such as the annual Amazon summer sale to upgrade my equipment. I prefer high quality aspects with the ability to add on more equipment so I can use it for multiple task management apps and high RAM software such as After Effects and Premiere Pro. If anyone is interested in a full breakdown of the equipment and supplies I have used throughout the years, I would be happy to make a video. I know this would help for both the beginner and intermediate artists in the space. Again, if you want to be included next month, leave a comment down below and I will read it out in the next Draw With Me video. Now I want to share what I'm working on in this video. I decided to work on my stills for YouTube videos and my VTuber mascot. I know my channel has been growing and I thought I would finally design her and finalize some of my branding for my channels. I've been heavily thinking about this lately and I've been working on new marketing plans for all of my social media avenues. Sometimes as an artist and influencer, you need to do this. Having consistent branding is something that you should have and something that I was personally lacking. I'm not sure about you all, but I have a hard time pinpointing what my essence would look like. It is easy for me to look at someone else and be like, yeah, that would be awesome, or nah, that might not be the best thing when it comes to their branding. But for myself, it was difficult. I always feel way too fluid in what I like, dislike, and my style choices. Hopefully with me showing you how I did this, that you might have an easier time with finding your unique voice. So first thing I did was I wanted to work on her concept. I asked my community on what they think my streams are like and what they would expect from a VTuber. I finally decided on a mermaid design once I did some more research on aesthetic trends, figuring out my favorite types of games and anime, and watching other VTubers. My mascot design is heavily influenced by Kokomi from Genshin Impact, but also from a few other VTubers like Shy Lily and Fiona Rigu. Instead of a cute sailor, orc girl, or mermaid magical girl design, I figured I would like to do another type of aesthetic, sea punk. Sea punk is a lot like vaporwave, but it has ocean aesthetics thrown in. I made my palette first and then opted to have black in order to balance everything out. I wanted both a slick and cool look, but also a pastel cute look too. My favorite types of anime are both magical girl and sci-fi mecha, so incorporating both of these two things into my design was something I wanted. As you can see, I drew up my sketch in my sketchbook and colored it. I wanted to get my colors correct before working on it in Clip Studio Paint. I decided to work on a front view and a back view on my character design, and then add some detailed designs in it with some of the accessories and clothing items that she has on. I'm also using this character design so I can start commissioning character design sheet on my commission website. This is located in my description if you're interested in commissioning me for a character design. After finding a pose I liked, I started to sketch out my design in Clip Studio Paint. So I accidentally didn't record my stuff on OBS when I was working on the character design sheet phase. So I actually pulled this from Clip Studio Paint instead. Once I realized I wasn't recording it, I was already done with all of my line art phase for my first drawing. First, I made a guide so I could measure my character and her pose. Getting her proportions right was my main priority when starting a character sheet design. I adjusted my guide and my base sketch before starting on my line art. The line art phase was the phase that I started to make some solid plans for her character design. Some of these items, like the shirt and the shorts, were actually clothes I have seen on Etsy and Pinterest. I think we all know I love my graphic t-shirts, so I knew I needed to put one on my character. After getting the line art done, I base colored the main drawing. Now all the other drawings are going to be base color, but for my main drawing, I plan to render and shade it like normal. At this point of the process, it took me about 3 hours to get to this phase of my drawing. I continued by rendering her skin, eyes, and hair out like I normally do with all my drawings. And when I got to the clothes, I threw on another layer that was just a purple shadow layer on my multiply settings. I colored her line art during this process too to make my drawing look more cohesive. And I did move her arm during the process to adjust her pose because I thought her arm looked a little too long, and I fixed it before moving on to my favorite part of the drawing. I wanted to make her boots and jacket look holographic, so I got my colors together for this and started to color it up. I blurred the layers together so it could blend together. Now it was time to make her back design. I duplicated her front design and used it as a base to draw out her back design quickly. Sketching out the design, I started to line art it quickly afterwards. I started with her legs on this one and then worked my way to her jacket. When I got to the logo on her back, I duplicated that logo so I could use it as a reference later on in the drawing. I added some more detailed designs like the side of her boot, her shirt, and her hoodie when it was up. Next, I continued to work on my YouTuber stills. I was planning to do more for this video, but I only had time to do 3 of them. So before my next video, I should have many more expressions. I did some research on some poses that I would like to make for my stills before starting this process. I wanted to start as a PNG tuber just because it would use less resources at the time of this video, and I could focus on making a proper debut for my VTuber in the future. I found out I wanted similar poses to my favorite art commentary channels like Duchess Celestia and ABD Illustrates, but I also wanted to take some inspiration from Danganronpa and The World Ends With You for my pose designs. I first sketched out my first pose and figured out what my base would be. I decided to split up my line art for my base, my arms, and my expression before starting on my line art process. This would help me later when creating other poses, expressions, and doing some quick mixing and matching. I also wanted to possibly use these for PNG tubing, so being able to remove my expression so it can move when I was starting to speak was also something I thought about too. I started my pose with a simple hello or goodbye with a relaxed arm pose to the side. I soon found out I could possibly take my coloring from my first model and move it to my second. This sped up my process dramatically, and so I decided my next model would just be a relaxed pose or a static emote. I will say my character sheet sped up the process dramatically as it kept me on model, and I didn't have to think too much about the design process. The last pose I worked on was a presenting pose, but I plan to do many more poses in the future. Overall, I thought my process on this was pretty significant, and hopefully you enjoyed this little preview of what I have completed this month. hope you folks enjoyed watching this. Also, I hope you enjoy this preview of what is to come on my channel and my videos. I am super excited and I hope you all are too. Please like and subscribe for more videos coming soon. All of my socials are located in my description if you want to see more art or hear more stories, and bye for now!